What my eyes cannot see, or has the antidote to brokenness evaded me? Could I believe in what my ears have not heard? Or will the suffering that surrounds me have the final word?
Welcome back to another video. In today's video, a few of my mom's friends and ex-volunteers that helped her at House on the Rock are going to share about my mom. So please stay tuned.
Hi everyone. Well, it gives me such pleasure to honor Jenny today. You know, Jenny, I remember as such a kind person, always having a smile on her face, no matter what she was facing. And she faced some things quite a bit. And I just want to honor Jenny today and say, you know, what I remember of Jenny is her kindness. And no matter what, her children was everything to her. Her whole life revolved around those children. No matter what situations she found herself in, she coped. And I just want to honor her today and say, you know, she's really missed, but you know, the world was a better place having her in here, and she affected so many lives. God bless you all. Bye-bye.
I first met Jenny nearly 20 years ago now, when she was running House on the Rock in East London, when there were about 15 children that she had in the home. What first struck me about Jenny was her absolute passion for looking after abandoned children. She absolutely loved them with every bit of her being, and she willed them to health and strength again. And the children loved her back. It was truly amazing to see. Their little faces would light up when she'd come into the room. They absolutely loved being held by her, being given attention by her, and at a glance, you would never have imagined they were abused or abandoned children, because they had so much love for her and she had so much love for them back again. It was truly amazing to witness. She could never resist a child that had been abandoned, and she took on many, many more children because there was just nowhere for them to go, and she couldn't say no. She knew what she could give them was better than they would find elsewhere, and eventually ended up having at least 60 children at House on the Rock on new premises. But it was her passion that really amazed me, and I wish the world had more people with that sort of passion. She loved them even as much as a mother would, and more, and there wasn't anything she wouldn't do for them. She fought for them, and physically and emotionally and mentally, and they really thrived in her care. The other thing that I noticed about Jenny was she also had a heart, I would say, for volunteers. People volunteer for many reasons, and she would realize that and not force anybody into a particular role that she needed done, but she would let them find their own way and look to see where they would find satisfaction and fulfillment within the home. So be it playing with the children, or doing marketing or admin, or whatever it might be, whatever it was that the volunteer needed, she would allow them to find their own way within the home. And I think that's truly a gift, because opening your home to volunteers means opening it to people who might have different ideas about how they think a home should be run, and she was willing to open herself up to that, to help them and let them, of course, help her, but I think mostly to help themselves. And she really was a most remarkable person, and with this abounding love for children, which she never lost, and the world is sadly less without her.
Cindy asked me to say a few words about her mom, Jenny van der Merwe. I I'm Dr. Cherie Goldswain. I'm a pediatrician working at Freya Hospital. I knew Jenny I think we met in 2005 through various visits at Freya Hospital where I met her in the corridors. Until House on the Rock was broken up, which I think is after I got married in 2010, but I can't remember exactly. I can't remember the dates, but I was involved with Jenny for many years, and I spent many weekends at House on the Rock, and I was always in awe of her love and caring and complete passion for the children that she was looking after. Her and Ken were mom and dad to all of the children that were under their care, and I've never seen such a selfless person in all my life. I remember at one point she was very ill with her, she had very severe asthma, and she was very ill. I think she actually went into ICU, and I remember praying so much for her at that time. And at the same time, I remember having the sense that, it was an almost desperate prayer from me to God to just say, please don't let Jenny die, because I certainly can't do what she's doing. And at that point, we wouldn't know who would carry on doing her work, because Ken would have struggled by himself. When she had sick children, and right at the beginning when they first started House on the Rock, some of their first kids had HIV in the era where there were no ARVs available in state until I think it was late 2004, 2005. They had some available from Mercedes-Benz, but other than that they didn't have any ARVs, and so they did lose a couple of children, and I know she was by their bedsides at Freya Hospital, and then also when they went back home, just never let them.
I met Jenny in the late 90s when they were still living in Cambridge, but only really started having a relationship with her in the early 2002. Now, Jenny's life motto was living by faith and love. I'd seen when there was no food in the house, she would just say, don't worry, the Lord will supply. And the next morning early, a farmer would stop with vegetables. Then late at night, the police would stop and bring an abused child to her, which she lovingly would take into her care for the night. At that stage, Jenny and Ken had 7 cots in their bedroom. Now that is love. Jenny raised the kids with the knowledge of Jesus, and they took the children to church every Sunday. I don't doubt that Jenny will be given a huge crown by God for the things she has done and her relationship with Jesus.
What can I say about Jenny van der Merwe? Well, one of the things I know is that she is one of the unsung heroes, the ones that Jesus sees. People may not see them, but he sees them. And I think we're going to get some surprises one day when we present ourselves before Jesus, because there are going to be some people there that are and were in this life unsung heroes. She was the most amazing person. From her life as a teen, she always cared for people. And actually, that's what her Lord is like, Lord Jesus. He said that we should look after the poor, the orphans, and the widows. And that's exactly what she did her whole life. I've known her since 2002, and I've been there many times to help her at bath time when there are many children to be bathed. I've walked in when she's been helping them with homework or making cakes for birthday parties, and she really was one of the most incredible people that I knew. And the thing is, she still is. When she relocated to live with Jesus, I was there just before she went. And I just want to say, she is my hero. I just think she is the most incredible person.
My name is Esther Rudolph, and I'd like to share what Jenny van der Merwe meant to me. Jenny was an awesome person. She was not only just a friend to me and colleague, but she was also a fantastic mother. I met Jenny many years ago through volunteering at House on the Rock, through her daughter Cindy, and I was absolutely amazed to see the heart that she had for these children. In particularly, I remember going to the house one night when one of the little ones was very, very, very sick and he was on his deathbed, and how Jenny and Ken just sat with these children, with this child, until he gave his last breath. And that's the one thing about Jenny. She was not selfish. She had love for all children like you cannot believe. And yeah, we miss Jenny on a daily basis, and she really was an awesome person.
What a privilege and honor for me to have known a woman like Jenny van der Merwe, a woman who sacrificed everything to care for the orphans. And in God's word we read how close the orphans are to his heart. And this woman gave up everything to look after these children who were abandoned or orphaned. It was in 2007 when I met Jenny van der Merwe for the first time when she came for a parent interview. I was teaching some of the children. How she loved and cared for these children in every way. Homework was done every afternoon. Homework books were always signed. Everything that they needed for their school day was in their suitcase, which tells me that these kids were loved intentionally. Then I visited House on the Rock. What an experience to see how lovingly each little child's space was cared for. I want to say to her family, she was a woman of great worth. She was a noble and a kind woman, and great is her reward in heaven.
Good day, my name is Michelle Kerr. I met Jenny van der Merwe many years ago in 2002 when I started visiting House on the Rock. I became involved as a volunteer at House on the Rock and would visit on weekends to help out, play with the children and take them on outings. I always admired Jenny's dedication to the children and the fact that these children were not just children in a place of safety, but were part of a family. They saw each other as brothers and sisters and a close-knit family. The children were always happy, which shows that they were loved and cared for. I remember walking into Jenny's bedroom and seeing 5 cots around the room, and I was shocked. When did this precious, selfless woman ever sleep? And I was told that she would get up each night for each baby. She dedicated her life to the children in House on the Rock, and she poured out her love and affection to them. I had also been to other orphanages, but this one stood out because of her genuine love for the children and her family, and seeing the laughter and happiness of the children. It was different. Jenny and her family were hands-on in involvement and sacrificed a lot to feed, clothe and house these children. But most of all, they sacrificed their time and their sleep. Jenny was such a loving, caring and compassionate woman, and loved by many. I will always have fond memories of my time with her at House on the Rock.
So as you can all agree, my mom was a remarkable person and touched many people's lives. And my mom's story still continues to this day. and is still touching many, many people's lives. In the next video, we'll be sharing our wedding DVD with everyone, and you will get to see the children walking down the aisle, and you'll get to see my mom as well. And yes, it was a wonderful day. Lots of preparing, lots of people sewing and making outfits. So I'm sure you're all going to enjoy that video as well. And so please subscribe and follow us on Facebook and Instagram, and we'll see you all in the next video. Thank you.